Hello guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I wanted to do something a bit different for me. If anybody is in sort of the gaming sphere, which I'm sure some of you will be, and like to keep on top of news and reviews of the latest games and things like that, then you probably follow IGN. And I think a lot of people, especially on the internet, have had a problem with their sort of reviews a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, some of them have been very strange, but I think the main one that I'd just like to talk today on this video is the Mouse PI for Hire review, which I know a lot of big creators and sort of people on the internet have reviewed. So I just thought, why not watch it myself and just give my take on everything. I know that it has been sort of panned, should we say. So anyway, let's just get into it and see what they say.
Of noir. I'll take all kinds. The hard-boiled detective, the seedy crime story, neo-noir, classic pulp, you name it, I'm buying.
Okay.
So when Mouse PI for Hire sauntered onto my screen the way Ilsa walks into Rick's in Casablanca, I was pretty excited about it. But noir isn't just an aesthetic to be thrown on like an old coat as you're leaving your office at the behest of a leggy blonde. While Mouse PI for Hire clearly understands the style and tropes of classic noir films and novels as well as 1930s cartoons more broadly, it doesn't seem to get why those things are there or how they're used to tell compelling stories. By fusing a hard-boiled detective mystery with a fast, retro-styled FPS, developer Fumi Games has made a shooter that is thematically incoherent, with the apparent aspirations of its story contradicted at every point by the actual action. Of all the Steam libraries and all the PCs in all the world, Mouse PI for Hire walked into mine. And I wish I liked it more than I do.
It's over. You got nowhere left to run.
That's Troy Baker, isn't it?
I want to dream. A bright future ruled by big mice.
Mouse follows Jack Pepper, a private eye in a world where everyone is a mouse, after Wanda Fuller from the Mouseburg Herald sets him on the case of a missing magician.
I can give you more than a crumb, Jack. I can give you a magician.
As you'd expect, that spirals into a much bigger conspiracy that includes an attempt on a mayoral candidate's life and racially motivated mouse-on-mouse violence as bigger mice oppress the smaller shrews.
My buddy got nabbed for just being a shrew.
Same as it ever was, even in Mouseburg. And the requisite twists and turns you'd expect from any good detective story make this tale solid enough.
I was in too deep. Way deeper than I signed up for.
What bothers me, however, is how overly referential so much of it is. The world is full of mice, so everything is about cheese. Everything. A bad guy? He's a cheese-legger.
Yeah, they're mice. I feel like I already know where this is going.
These cheese-leggers in on the shrew racket.
Run into a lady mouse with a sultry voice. It'll be described as
Gorgonzola picante slapped on a mozzarella platter.
someone need
Hilarious.
to assure you they're telling the truth.
Swear on my mama's cottage curds.
This is charming initially, then it never stops. Everything is a reference
Yeah,
to the
they are
fact that
mice.
everyone is a mouse and mice like cheese, and when it's not, instead it'll be a reference to an old...
Yeah, they're mice. And isn't the place called Mouseburg? I'm not sort of getting it so far. Let's see.
cartoon, or the fact that this is a video game.
When you jump,
Yes, it is.
just act like you didn't.
I should have probably guessed the former when one of the first things I saw was a steamboat named Willie, but at least that and the reference-heavy power-ups are cute. Constant callbacks to classic films or other video games? Not so much. And it
Why?
doesn't end there. A boss fight in the sewers? It's a literal alligator, because of course it is. If you're looking for the cheese-liking form...
Batman. Also, from looking at this, I remember watching a bit of gameplay. This sort of like corridors where you can hide from and shoot from the back. It is definitely inspired by the Metal Gear Solid 1 Vulcan Raven fight as well. I'm not sure what you're expecting. An alligator in the sewer is pretty funny and expected from a game of this sort of stylistic... I'm a bit confused. Let's keep going.
When Jack will quip that he doesn't look like much of a boss,
More like a mini-boss.
and then laugh at his own joke. The voice actors, led by Troy Baker, do an admirable
The
job
goat.
with what they have, but nothing in Mouseburg is allowed to just be. It has to be a mouse reference, or
Yes.
a literally cheesy one-liner.
Cheddar. What's wrong with Gouda?
They're
No
mice.
good if you broke, Jack.
Or a reference to something else.
Ticket seller, I'm going on a perilous journey, so I need your strongest tickets.
It's hard to kill.
Please tell me he's not unhappy with that. Potion Seller is one of the greatest internet videos of all time. I'm not really too sure. It's obviously tongue-in-cheek. Stylistically, the art and everything is phenomenal. I mean, just how the pistol here is like bumping. Also, I've just noticed as well, like the bullets all have different animations and faces at the bottom, which probably won't help that I'm in the way, but yeah. Let's keep going.
Care about anything in Mouse PI for Hire because it never stops making jokes about everything.
Here's Jacko.
It just wants to remind you of other better things. Surely that's enough, right?
Time to find someone higher up. They squeeze until they suck.
At least the shooting is better. This is the latest in a wave of boomer shooters inspired by old school FPSs like Doom or Quake, and it's
Yeah, look how cool that looks.
You start with a pistol in Jack's fists, but you'll soon acquire a shotgun, dynamite, a James gun, which is just a Tommy gun, and more unique stuff like the Devarnisher, which shoots what looks like Elmer's glue that melts the flesh from your enemy's bones, leaving only a skeleton.
Sick.
Throw in stuff like a double jump, dash, spinning tail for hovering, and a slide, and Jack's got some stylish moves when the bad guys
Classic
show
boomer
up.
shooter
This ain't
stuff.
Quake, but it does feel good. It doesn't hurt that
trying
all
to
of
be
it, from
Quake.
reload animations to random conversations, is rendered in an absolutely gorgeous black and white mix of sprite work and
Looks
3D
so
models.
good.
The world building may be thin, but Mouse PI for Hire is still dressed to the nines. Even here, though, I have issues. Weapons can feel weak, especially the shotgun. It's got the audio kick of a pop gun, and there's a strange disconnect to seeing something that sounds like a kid's toy blow off some poor mouse's head as you paint the white of the world with black ichor that spews from his neck.
So he doesn't like. He said the shotgun's not powerful enough. It looks to be killing them in one shot, which is what you'd expect from a shotgun on a boomer shooter. And number two, it's a cartoon about mice. It's based on the classic 1930s cartoon style, the rubber hose style, and the shotgun looks like it's doing its job, and it makes a cartoon noise for a shotgun.
Enemies mostly come out of doors marked with a skull that you can't enter, robbing these areas of anything remotely resembling a sense of place.
Yeah,
Levels
it's a boomer
also
shooter.
really like to pull the we're gonna lock you in a room and throw baddies at you until they're dead or you are.
Yeah, this sounds like definitely a him problem. That is literally what a boomer shooter is. There's loads of different arenas. Each time you go into one, you kill the enemies, maybe a boss, and then go to the next one. I don't really know what he was expecting from a cartoon mouse game.
A little too much for my taste. None of this is game-breaking. The combat is fundamentally good enough to carry you to the end of the roughly 12-hour campaign, but sometimes it feels like being at a show that's never quite bad enough to leave. And at least on the normal difficulty, health items are so generous there's rarely a challenge. Like any good boomer shooter, there are plenty of secrets to find. Newspapers, weapon upgrade schematics, baseball cards, and so on. Fragile walls to blow up, and even locked safes to open with your tail, which pulls double duty as a lockpick.
That's fun.
Some of these locks are on a time limit, or must be solved in a limited number of moves, and you only get one shot at the good stuff they hold. Others are so easy you could probably solve them by letting an actual mouse run across your keyboard. It's very jarring.
I'm so confused. So, do you not like the picklocking in Fallout, Skyrim, all these huge legendary games, which is probably exactly the same? And there was actually, if anything, to me, that looked a bit more engaging. Not watching a key and feeling it sort of vibrate back when it's about to snap. I feel like they asked the wrong guy to... Kind of feels like a theatre guy who's going on about all the classic noir films, and I don't know, it seems a bit pompous.
Once you're done with the level, it's back to the hub, which encompasses Jack's office, the local bar, store, weapon upgrade shop, and so on. My favorite thing here is the baseball card minigame you can play at the bar. You'll switch between pitching and being at bat, and using the cards in your hand, players and abilities, to try to score as many runs as you can. It's fun.
We love
What I
in-game
like less
card
is
games.
the whole being a detective thing, mostly because I never actually got to do it. Any clues you find will be pinned to Jack's caseboard, and once you get them there, Jack will just
Okay,
intuit
I
where
can
to go.
understand
No
why.
work on your part required. What's the point of being a gumshoe if all the answers are handed right to me?
I can
Better
see why
check it
May
out. It
would want
began with a
more
call.
sort of
Routine. Familiar.
with
That
regards
brings
to
me to
that,
one of my major
but
problems with Mouse PI for Hire. Look, I hate to
Play
be
LA
that
Noir.
guy who brings up ludonarrative dissonance in a video game review in the year of our Lord 2026.
Definitely
and if
a
you're
theater
rolling
kid.
your eyes right now, I can't blame you. But it's an actual issue here. Jack Pepper is a PI who kills more people in a single mission than Philip Marlowe has in every book Raymond Chandler ever wrote combined. I don't care how
it's a video game, mate. It's a mouse video game.
corrupt the cops are. A private detective can't break into a police station and slaughter them en masse and then go about his day.
Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? This is... I get it, it's all subjective, it's everyone's opinion and nothing personal to the reviewer, but this is bizarre.
In one particularly nonsensical scenario, Jack inadvertently burns down an opera house to save a guy running for mayor, and he ends up fighting an opera singer and
Yeah.
shoots her? Is she dead? Did I just kill an actress for being angry I burned down her workplace? If I didn't, have I
not
left
over till
her
the fat
alive and
lady sings.
unconscious inside a burning building?
Well, Billy Stone did get blown to Kingdom Come.
Mouse PI for Hire doesn't tell me, and it doesn't seem to care either way.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
None of this is to say that noir cannot or should not be violent, but the violence usually has a purpose. Much of Elliot Chase's seminal novel Black Wings Has My Angel is
Oh
about
my
robbing
God.
an armored car, but the book builds to that. It's a big deal when it finally happens, and the
I'll try and not say this many more times, but my friend, just look at the screen. It's a cartoon mouse game. You're taking everything far too literally.
characters have to reckon with the fallout once it does. Jack Pepper, on the other hand, is a walking catastrophe, and nobody in Mouseburg seems to care. He largely gets to go about his business and is portrayed as a down-on-his-luck everyman PI, like the characters who inspired him, when he is, at best,
Has this guy ever played a video game before? That is exactly the point of video games. It is escapism. It's not real. Don't get me wrong, some games that have gone like the super realistic route is really cool, but I feel that you just need to go either watch a documentary or the films that you like if that's what you're expecting.
a mass murderer.
You implying something, Mr. Pepper?
Me? Imply? Never.
Troy
I just
sounds so
connect the
good.
dots.
Does that make for a more fun video game? Maybe. But it's bad noir
Yes.
and a worse detective tale. In the story as Mouse PI for Hire references, violence is an unfortunate but unavoidable part of the human experience that shatters the people it touches. Here, it's just entertainment, and that weakens
Mate,
the
this
whole
is a
concept.
cartoon.
But Will, you might say, this is a goofy Looney Tunes FPS.
Yes.
Why should I care about any of that? And
Yes.
the answer is because Mouse wants you to. It wants you to believe that this is important. You spend a lot of time talking about these characters, about putting together
You spend a lot of time talking about cheese and doing funny internet puns and classic film puns.
the clues you need to get to the bottom of what's going on, about Jack's motivation for doing the work. He allegedly needs the money, which both leads him to taking cases and doesn't track when I'm super rich from all the killing.
Nonsense. You're drowning in debt, picking up small fries and petty cases.
All of that makes a lot less sense after you've gone to Tinsel Bros Studios and single-handedly eradicated the mob hanging out there, all while doing a bunch of Tomb Raider / Indiana Jones / Conan the Barbarian impressions,
that's
as
sick.
everyone says you should be an actor.
So tell us, hero, what is best in life?
To grate some parm, watch the cheese melt, and hear the joyful squeaks of my dinner guests.
Give this guy a week on the job as chief of
The game just seems so unapologetically like exactly what it's trying to be. I think the main thing, I've not played the game, but as a huge Doom fan, and just boomer shooters, FPSs in general, I think it looks great. I just don't know what I was expecting, and also again massive shout out to the art team because it looks so good. Yes.
The police in Mouseburg would be the safest city in the world because nobody would be left alive to commit crimes in the first place. It's hard to buy into Jack as the regular guy who needs to gather evidence I'm told he is when he just wiped out the local police department, you know?
The police blockade? We sure went big on this one.
Mouse PI for Hire nails the aesthetics of both the 1930s cartoons and the detective stories that inspired it. And it's also an amusing humor shooter that largely feels good as you're playing it. But its haphazard marriage of noir storytelling tropes and shooter gameplay are often at odds with each other in uncomfortable ways that weaken both aspects. And the writing is so busy making references to other things that it's actually painful to sit through at times.
This
FPS is solid enough if you just want to blast some cartoon mice and not think about it too hard.
Yeah.
But once you do, all you'll see are the seams where disparate ideas have been fused together, and no trench coat can hide the stink of that moldy cheese. For more, check out our reviews of Pragmata and Resident Evil Requiem, and for everything else in gaming, keep it here at IGN.
Well, that was ridiculous. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything, but in my thoughts as we went along, but again, I don't know what he was expecting. It is a cartoon mouse game, and they're making funny gags about cheese because they're mice. Very, very interesting review, and I can already see they're like, I don't have the mod on, but I think it has like nearly 30,000 downvotes, nearly 2k upvotes, so it has done extremely poorly. And I think that's maybe the problem with a lot of IGN reviews. I think that a lot of their staff that they get to do reviews, they're either in the middle of the road and everything makes sense, or like the Crimson Desert 6 out of 10. Anyway, it's crazy. Again, this isn't something normally I do. If you enjoyed it, I would like to start making more content. If anybody clicks on this, you most likely follow me for my metal music reviews. Don't really do them anymore, but I'm very passionate about games and stuff like that, so I would like to start doing it a bit more. If you enjoyed it, a sub or a like would obviously be appreciated on this very, very huge app. So that would be great. I really appreciate you watching, if you have. Again, this is just my opinion. No hate to the guy that reviewed it. Again, it's all subjective, all personal opinion. But the review just missed the mark massively. He was obviously expecting something else. If you want gritty noir, go watch a gritty noir film. Or go play L.A. Noire, which was also very stupid and funny in sections. Anyway, I'm Johnny. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more of this, let me know what games. Again, I would love to start doing this. Appreciate you. Goodbye.